Hello, Cephalopods. Are you tired of having incompetent teammates while playing Clam Blitz? Or maybe you are the incompetent teammate in Clam Blitz. Either way, I've compiled 9 tips for playing Clam Blitz from my own experience. How much experience do I have? Well, that's nice of you for asking. First, I'll describe the basics of Clam Blitz, just in case you don't know the rules. Clams are scattered across the map. Collecting 10 of them will give you a power clam, which you can throw out the other team's basket to open it up. When you do this, you will get 20 points and have the ability to throw more clams and power clams into the basket until the timer runs out. Throwing clams in extends the timer. When the timer runs out, you got a penalty equivalent to the number of clams you threw in. 1 for individual clams and 10 for power clams, that you have to get to 0 before you can get more points. Also, a power clam will fall from the basket that was scored at. This is called the pity clam and goes to the team who got scored on. You can win Clam Blitz by getting your score to 0 or having the lowest number when the match ends. Now that we are on the same page here are some tips to get better. Number 1. Make coordinated pushes. We've all seen those ink brushes who just grab a power clam, score, and then run away, right? I'm here to tell you that this is usually not a good strategy. Instead of doing this, make sure that your team is with you and you have clams to put in the basket. Otherwise, your push will barely make a dent. Number 2. Clam point values. Did you ever notice how a power clam contributes 20 points to your score, while an individual clam contributes 3 points? I've seen too many people attempt to get a power clam while the other team's basket is open, instead of just tossing clams into the basket. You can score more points tossing 9 individual clams than 1 power clam. You should only build a power clam if you don't have much time to put individual clams into the basket. Also, power clams have a higher penalty to point ratio, 1 to 2, than individual clams, 1 to 3. Number 3. The pity clam. Many times, someone ends up grabbing the pity clam as soon as it spawns. Don't do this. There are 3 times I can think of right now when you should pick up the pity clam. These times are when you can super jump to the enemy basket and score, when your team already has a pity clam, and the other team scores on you again, otherwise a new pity clam won't spawn, and during overtime, as you only have 20 seconds to score or you lose. Number 4. Super jumping. Super jumping is important in all Splatoon 2 modes, but is especially useful in Clam Blitz. This is because a person holding a power clam can super jump to a teammate or a beacon near the enemy team's basket. Also, if you super jump close enough to the basket, you can score towards the end of your super jump, and there's nothing the enemy team can do to stop you. This can lead to surprise pushes if the other team doesn't monitor their base for people camping in it. Also, if you get splatted and your team is still pushing, then you can grab the pity clam and super jump to the basket, and then score. Number 5. Monitor your base. Remember what I just told you? Try to prevent the other team from taking advantage of it. If you see a beacon or a large amount of enemy ink in your base, then it should be a very high priority to remove it. If you don't guard your base, then you will most likely lose the game. Number 6. Don't have your whole team just sit and toss clams. So I hear you want to make a large and prolonged push in Clam Blitz. If that's what you want, the worst thing you can do is sit and toss clams when the other team's basket is open. This is because the other team can easily end your push. Unless the other team is wiped, this strategy isn't a very good idea. Instead, you should have 1 or 2 other people hold off the other team. That way, you can keep your push going. Number 7. Deliver clams to teammates near the basket. Ever see a squid near the enemy basket who has 9 clams and won't stop spamming this way? Chances are, he wants you to give him a clam, so he's going to be able to score. You should try to get the clam to him as soon as possible, because it's likely they'll be discovered. The benefit of doing this is instead of grabbing the 10th clam, your location won't be shown practically until you score, and it allows you to have a lot more stealth when approaching the basket. Number 8, keep track of clam amounts. You see that little number underneath the squid icons? Pay attention to it. It tells you how many clams each team has. By looking at it, you should be able to tell how close the other team is to beginning a push. The higher the number, the closer they are. Also, you may want to check around the basket for enemy squids if you see this number is particularly high, because they could be sharing clams in order to form a power clam, and then score. Number 9. Don't break ballers when they're carrying power clams near your basket. When a baller with a power clam explodes, the power clam falls to the side and has to be reclaimed, or else it will despawn. However, if the baller breaks, the inkling inside will still be holding the power clam. It's important not to break them if they are near your basket, or else they could easily score. The best thing you can do is to break the first layer of the baller, and then back away. That way, when it explodes, you can splat the inkling who is in the baller, and they won't be able to score. Well, that's all the tips I have to get good at Clam Blitz. I hope that while watching this, you learned a thing or two. Goodbye, Cephalopods.